Hello, welcome to the Healing Place and All Things Yin Yoga. I'm Sherry Jibb, and I'm your teacher for this series. So let's get started. Today I want to do something for the hips and the side waist. All right, so we'll be in a seated position here. We're going to come into half butterfly. So reach your right leg long, and you can bend your left knee. Now, if you find when you get into a seated position that this is often what's happening for you, then just take your blanket or your bolster, whatever you have, and just put it underneath your pelvis. And this will bring you up a little bit. And I even like to take that just like right under my sits bones, which live at the bottom of my pelvis. Okay, and that just props me up a little bit. Then if I come into this position and I look like this, I might want to take a block, a pillow, or a blanket and stuff it underneath there. You know, and just propping that leg bone just helps to relax and soften those muscles so they don't have to be working so hard. Okay, so support into the bones. All right, any one of those propping, just adding whatever you need. And if the knee does not feel good in this flexed position, just taking it straight out in front of you. So growing nice and tall here, I like to work with a few different arm variations here. So we can make tents out of the fingers, lengthen long through the arms. I want both edges of my heel to be connected into the floor. Okay, so I want to press down there a little bit. My arms can grow long and then hinging forward at my hip. And as I do that, I want to come into my breath before I even start. So let's take that moment to just connect. I like to work with Ujjayi breath, the sound of the ocean on the exhale. And let your breath be the leader into the shape of the pose. Just come into that first edge where you feel sensation and hang out there. So letting your body take the shape, finding stillness, and holding for a while. 3 tattvas of Yin Yoga. Your arms could also come forward here. And again, just noticing that edge. That edge might be more than just coming in the back of the thigh. It might also be in the back. So notice what shows up for you first. In Yin Yoga, it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's actually preferable, but it's not okay to cross the threshold into pain. And that's different for everyone. So just staying with your breath. And we're going to hold this for 2 minutes. So we've already been in for about 30 seconds. And you'll notice that your breath has gone into your back here. Just really start to expand your back with the breath. And when your mind wanders, and it will, gently, with love and compassion, guide it back to the sensations that are happening in the body. For some of you, you'll come forward. Some of you will be able to come right down. Some of you might need to prop under your forehead. And I find that especially helpful if you have a neck issue, shoulders. Again, where is that edge? So in Yin Yoga, we want to think about muscles softening and relaxing to allow us to go deeper into the tissues and get into those yin tissues, which is our connective tissue, our fascial system, ligaments, tendons, down to a bone level. And last 2 breaths here. And then slowly, really slowly start to walk yourself out. Yin tissue doesn't like any really fast movements. Let's stay on this same side. I'm going to turn so that you can see, but you could actually stay exactly as you are. Okay. So now I want my right hand to come in on the inside of my right leg. I want to twist through my waist, looking over my left shoulder. Sorry, my left knee. And as I exhale, I'm going to slowly come into that edge. Now, my left arm could come up and overhead if that feels good for my shoulder. I could also take my hand to the back of my head and let it come up this way. But I could also take this hand and let it just fall down my back. For those of you that taking your arm overhead just does not feel good for you. I could also make a little nest here for my head to lie on. And just staying with your breath here. I could let my arm come down on the inside, reaching around my foot and staying with your breath. Or arm up and over. Just play with what feels good for you here. And think about arcing the ribs away. So if you were to think about one of those fans opening, those old-fashioned fans, and it opens up into that side waist. And let's do a couple more breaths here. And last breath. And then slowly bring it up. Hand comes behind. Take that left hand back, reach the right arm up. And then take it down, reach it up, and take it down, and one more. Reach it up, extending through that spine and bringing it back down to center. And let's change sides here. So left leg goes long and the right leg comes in here. Again, propping in any way that's needed. Underneath the knee, under the pelvis. Fingers can be in that tent-like pose as we hinge forward at the hip. But connecting into the breath and letting the breath be the leader into the pose. Or taking your hands forward, walking them forward so that you can feel the stretch. Feel that edge. Stay with your breath here. Letting your breath reach into your back, expanding it into your back. Stay with your breath. Feeling that lengthening. Feeling that first edge. Finding stillness. Holding a while. You're on your last few breaths here. And then very slowly start to walk yourself out. Reconnect in with your breath. Let your left hand come down on the inside of your left leg. Open up towards your right knee. And start to take your right arm up and over. Again, you can make that nest for your head. You could bring your arm down, hand behind your head, elbow up, or down your back, whatever's feeling good for you. Let your breath be the leader into the shape of the pose. Find stillness and hold a while. Bring your mind's focus into the sides of your ribs and think about one of those fans opening up. And as the fan opens up, you're creating space here in that sideways. And for some of you, maybe your hands around your foot. I like to let my right sits bone sink just a little bit deeper into the mat. You're in the last few breaths in this pose. And then slowly start to bring yourself up. Take your right hand, bring it back behind you. Get your right arm nice and strong. And as you exhale, bring your left arm back, opening through your chest. Inhale to come forward. Exhale to come back. And inhale forward. Exhale. And one more. And exhale. Coming back to center. I hope that felt good for you today. Thank you so much for joining me for All Things Yin Yoga. And I'm Sherry Jib, and thank you so much. Have an incredible day.